there. And then, bro, that's something to be really proud
Fuck
of.
yeah.
That's a big
I've only done it a
accomplishment.
few times, goddamn it.
Portable.
Yeah, what would you say like most like
hired one? I mean, I really enjoyed doing the mule deer hunt. I didn't know I was a mule deer hunter because we don't have where I hunt in Washington. There's no mule deer.
Or
Well, on the east side of the state, there's mule deer and whitetail, but I hunt the west side where it's only blacktail.
Yeah, blacktail, which is hard, right?
I've
never hunted blacktail, but I've heard it's
very
tough
hard.
as hell.
It's very hard. But we did a mule deer hunt in South Dakota, and I just instantly fell in love with it because it's just nonstop action. If you're doing spot and stock, it's hard because it's wide open. You don't have a whole lot of cover. You're doing a lot of crawling. If you go to the right place, there's a lot of opportunities. Yeah, so that's always a number one hunt. And then my access in Hawaii, which the only thing about Hawaii is that it is cutthroat as far as trying to find a place to hunt. At least in Maui, it's all private. And these locals that live there fight over these leases. Like these leases are hard to get. And poaching is a huge problem. So they are on my ass about what I can post and not post. Because you have to imagine it's such a small island. People, if you take any picture where you can see the ocean because it's either ocean or mountains, if you could almost pinpoint exactly where you're at. And because poaching is such a problem, they are very protective of their hunting grounds. And so I have to be very respectful of that. I don't talk a lot about where we were. I don't post a lot of pictures unless they've approved them. You can go with outfitters. It's expensive. I mean, you're going to pay like $5,500 to shoot, like one access buck. But Lanai, I haven't hunted there, but that's a good place to hunt. Molokai, I think that's the other island that's got a ton of access deer. And like you said, you can take the family. So that's like a good one.
Is it right now? Is it right now like a good time to go hunt those?
Yeah, and it's year round, but it's like getting into the rut. So I was like pre-rut. We were seeing a little bit of rut activity, and that was the beginning of May that I went.
So, yeah, because I know that I see a lot of my buddies that I follow on IG right now that they're actually in Hawaii
right now.
Yeah.
Now's a good time.
Yeah, and I was wondering if that was like a peak of the rut.
It's starting to hit off. Yeah.
And that's one thing I will say. I was like, I've been to Texas, and hunted them. And the first time, like we threw that bitch up on a tree. We cleaned it right there. We were at Matt Bess's house, the Black Rifle guy.
You're saying, yeah.
And we threw that bitch right on the grill with nothing, like a salt, pepper. It's my first time having it. Good. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I fell in love with that meat so much.
It's very good.
We went back there a couple years ago, and we just shooting does because I love the meat so much.
I do too. Yeah.
And it was funny because we came back here, and it was around this time, I bet. And I had my Yeti out here full of the meat.
Yeah.
And I was going to clean it the next day. And I was letting the fucking blood drain out of the cooler. So I left the thing out. The fucking bear came.
Oh, shit.
And thank God my ring caught it, because I was like, what the fuck? And I look, and it's a bear fucking. And it took me and Cody, Skinny Cody, remember?
Yeah.
Us to lift it out of our truck to,
because it's full of ice.
Yeah, ice and water and meat.
Yeah.
I think we had like fucking 3 of those bitches in there.
Yeah.
And it was so heavy. And I was like, and this bear picked it up like it was no fucking.
God.
Drug it all the way down the bottom of the street down there. And I go out there with the fucking shovel trying to scare this fucking thing away. Gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to leave, right?
Oh,
so I had to go get my shotgun. I had these rubber rounds.
Yeah.
And I was gonna shoot it. And finally he took off. But me and Cody had to fucking drag that bitch all the way back up here. And I was like, dude, this is fucking heavy, bro. I'm like, holy shit. And the bear made it look so fucking easy to carry it down there.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I was willing to fucking die for that meat, though.
Oh yeah, you don't give that up to a bear, dude. It's a delicacy.
It is. And that's what I can't stress enough about it. Like, I used to think elk, I mean, I love elk, right?
Right.
But I think that axis beats it.
Yeah, that or red stag from when I went to New Zealand.
Yep.
And what's funny is Caleb and I because we have our freezer full of all different kinds of meat. We have cooked elk, red stag, and access. And we actually like the red stag the best of all of it.
Yeah. I love the red stag.
It's a rich meat. Yep. It's very rich and it's darker. It's when you look at, when you cut into it, the access is probably the lightest. The elk is the medium and the red stag is really darker. Red. Yeah.
I know it's crazy because when you pull those back straps out of that red stag, it's like, holy shit, this is so big, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like an elk, right? Like, and when we ate it there at the camp and everything, I was like, dude, I love this meat. I love it. I loved it. Yeah. But something different about that access.
You like the access?
I'm an access guy.
Okay.
I literally am the access guy, but I don't know. I like whitetail too, though. Right. You know what I mean?
Anything cooked right, and that's the thing, man. You need to have Caleb come over here and throw some.
He likes to cook, huh?
Oh yeah, he's such a good cook. And my kids are like dying with him being gone, and I'm like, "Do you want me to cook some steak?" And they're like, "No, Mom. Just wait till Dad gets home." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm even missing
he's good,
it."
huh?
Oh, he is so good at cooking, and he loves it. I mean, that's he's like, "Get out of my kitchen." I was like, "Oh, go make money, bitch. That's what you're good at."
Well, there you go. That's why it works, right? It does.
It does work.
That's why it works. Like, honestly, that's one thing I will say about, I just came back from Traeger, right? And they asked me like, "Hey, what has been the difference between you using a Traeger now?" I said, honestly, I have more family time now with my kids. I'm cooking.
Yeah.
I'm letting my wife not cook. Get out. I'm cooking for her.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm no fucking chef, right? Like, but you follow the recipes and get to do it. Literally comes out bomb ass.
Yeah, you've been doing good. I was like, what are you making for me tonight?
I know, right? I should have done something. I literally should have done something. I'm on a rally right now, man. I don't know what it was. I was
You were supposed to come shoot.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's dead.
I am dead. I was dead. We went hard in Salt Lake, but it was fun, I went 30 days without alcohol.
Dude, where was it that I saw you? Fucking Utah. I have never seen you so bad. When you were still drunk that morning.
Oh, after the Dustin Poirier fight, right?
No, at the Western Hunt Expo.
Oh, yeah.
And who did you go out with? You were out with another company.
Yeah.
Was it Sig?
Probably Sig, yeah.
Dude, and you said you got so fucked up, and I think you had like 3 hours sleep, and I was like looking, I'm like, you cannot go into public like this. Like, what?
Yeah, that was Salt Lake, yeah.
You were hurting bad. I've never seen you hurt so bad.
My eyes were bloodshot.
They were
I was just reeking of booze, it was bad, dude.
Was so bad.
I wanted to just die,
crawl in a hole, and then to think you had to socialize and be the fucking Western Hot Expo. I was like, no, dude, I know. No, good on you.
I did it. I mean, it's one of those things when you're gonna play, you gotta pay. You
didn't feel that bad today, though, did you?
No, no. I actually, man, I tell you what, that 30 days, I'm not drinking. I had to do it. I did it after Justin's fight. We came back from Vegas.
That's what I was thinking. You did not drink in Vegas.
I did. I came home from the 14th on the 14th.
Okay.
Or the 13th. And I told my wife, I said, I got to stop, dude. I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
She goes, I'll do it with you.
Oh, that's cool.
And literally we stopped and, I can't say I made 30 days. I made 28, 29 days the day before.
Yeah.
Because it was Mother's Day weekend. And I said,
pop some champagne.
We popped some champagne, and it was fun. I did it for me. Like it was like I hit my goal. I was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to make 2 weeks, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I did a couple podcasts and it was definitely hard.
Yeah. Being dead
I'm a
sober.
social drinker, dude. Like I like to have fun. And, it was more for me just mentally like, damn, can I quit?
Right. Am I addicted to alcohol? Am I an alcoholic?
Yeah. And to me, it was more like just an eye opener for me. How you doing, bud?
Wonderful.
Good.
Who is this man?
That's my neighbor, dog.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me.
Good news.
Oh,
okay. Hold.
I get a pee break. Is that the good
let's
news?
get a pee break.
Okay, that's good. Great.
Hold on. Come on.
Hey, perfect. This is perfect.
This is cool, huh?
Yeah, get the word out.
Come on out here.
Oh yeah.
Come in. Hey, did your neighbor ever tell you why I didn't get to go do your drive?
Oh no.
The plow broke right when I was at your house.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, you were doing the right thing. You did what I asked for. Okay. Because my Jeep, I had to repair it.
Okay.
The alternator,
Okay.
it had problems with the, from leadership, he was.
What is going on out there? This guy's talking about some crazy shit.
I know.
He's like, so and so's in custody, and Luke's like, wait, what? And I'm just like looking at him like, okay. So did the volume get fixed after Luke changed that cord or what?
I don't know. I got recording.
Except for not on there. Was there very many people that got on there?
There was a couple.
Just bitching about the fucking, we can't hear you.
It's to see if everything was going fine. I don't know if it's from the light, but from the brightness outside.
Like it's too bright, like it's
Well,
washing
no,
us out. Dark.
Looks great here, but if you look on this screen,
The screen.
like where you sit, see here, see how dark this the backpack is.
Yeah.
So with your dark clothes too,
And then
you
my
got your hat
hat.
on.
Oh yeah.
It's very dark.
So that's what's showing on YouTube, but that's
Yes.
just what's that for? Just
That
live version. So
this is YouTube. And this is what they're seeing. That was dark as well.
yeah, that other screen. It's kind of blurry too.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just from the internet connection?
I'm not sure. I think we gotta look into all this stuff afterwards.
Amateur. How long have you guys been doing YouTube for?
And not too long.
Okay.
Been barely new. So you know how we do it. Crash course our way through it.
Yeah. Right. Learn as you go.
Learn as you go. You were talking about the Maui hunts.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been wanting to plan with my friends, or so
Yeah.
that we could also take our girls
Yeah.
and do that.
Do the family
But
thing.
Lanai is the other one. That's the other one I heard of.
Yeah, Lanai, that's like where Cam and Joe. I think it's called, and I don't know that it's like one where it's like a vacation place too. Like I think you would stay at one island and maybe just like go with your family on Maui or something. It's all private. There's only like 2 outfitters, which is like Maui Hunting Safaris, and then I can't remember that. Carrie and Logan Stark and all those people go. And I think was the one that I booked with, and the guy died, like the main owner, and they canceled my hunt. And so I have this trip booked, and my hunt got canceled. There can point me to public land or give me some pointers. And then this guy reached out and was like, I live here and I'll take you hunting for one day, as a hunter you are, he was just like, he didn't know me out for this whole deal. He's like, I'll let you come out with me for one day. And I went out with him, and he like wanted to make sure I was like a respectful hunter and I was a good hunter. And, you know, especially with bow hunting, you don't know what you're going to get with people. And then we just hit it off and became friends.
Every place that I've heard of, and trust me, I know less than Luke does.
Yeah.
For like guides and stuff like that, they don't bullshit.
Yeah.
They hate people that. That's.
They don't want to deal with that bullshit. So.
Use a rifle?
Yeah, here, take this rifle. No, and so we hit it off, and we have a friendship now. But he has this nonprofit, and I'm like, I could bring. Like Remy Warren goes out and hunts with them. That come every year that they just want to make enough in the nonprofit to give back to the community. They're not trying. They're not like profiting from it.
Yeah.
So they just need enough to give back what they need to give back and keep it easy. You know, they don't want to like blow it up and have a million people trying to come out there, especially because, like I said, they're so secretive of where their leases are that if you have people going out there that are just blasting their location and then making it so poachers know where they're at. Like it's a huge problem there, man. It's crazy.
I've only been to the Big Island, and it's. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
But it's nice.
The Big Island. There might be goat and hog.
There's goat and hog.
For on the Big Island.
I never saw any access deer or anything like that.
What's crazy is there's so many access deer. Like they're trying to figure out how to like eradicate them. Like the state's gonna start coming in and like eradicating them, which would be like poisoning them.
Are you the one that posted the video where they're crossing the highway?
Is it just like hundreds of them?
Yeah, and it's just.
So they come down off the mountains, especially during the sprinkler systems come on. So all these golf crazy high fences. Can you imagine around a whole fucking entire golf course? Because the access deer will come down by the thousands during the dry season and just completely wreck the fucking golf course. Videos is like it's the access deer coming down to where there's some area where sprinklers are going to come on, and it's just like a magnet for them because they don't have any other water sources.
Yeah.
And so so where we were, there was like a river going through the lease, which was money because those things would go bed down in this riverbank. And so we would like walk the trail along the top, and then we would just cut in and like peek down and see if there's anything bedded. And then if there wasn't, we would just move up like another 50 yards, drop over, and then eventually there would be some, you know, because that's where it's cool down there. There's a water source down there. So it was like the perfect hunting setup. But
we got about 5 people right now.
What do they want to know? Who is it? I wonder if I know anyone.
Who's listening to us?
Luke
Ask some questions.
Can people hear me? Luke is slacking right now. He's out there chit-chatting with the neighbor.
Yeah, it's so funny. We had 5. Now it's down to 2.
Oh, we're boring.
I don't know. Just to go back to the island, I'd be happy with that. But I went through school. My wife this time. I want her to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive. Maui's expensive. I don't know. The other islands aren't as bad, but Maui. I mean, a gallon of milk's like $10. Yeah, a head of lettuce is like $8. I mean, we don't even eat out because that's definitely expensive. But just to go to Costco and try to get some food for the week, it's at least double what you're gonna pay here.
Yeah.
Just because they have to get everything imported, you know, so their costs are so high.
That's insane.
What hunts do you have this year? Are you just hunting here around Colorado?
Yeah, I put in for a bear tag. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. Well, if I get it, yeah, I want to do it.
Yeah.
But
is it for a specific unit or where can you hunt? Yeah.
Bear tag. I'll do OTC archery, but that's the other thing. In the fall, I'll be in school, so there's not much I can
What are you going to school for?
to complete my bachelor right now. In
What?
business.
Oh, in business?
Yeah.
Nice. You just have what, another year or two?
Hopefully, just another year.
Sweet.
But I'm doing it all out of pocket too, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
The only reason I got away with getting my bachelor's business and marketing is because I did Running Start, where the state pays for you to do community college when you're in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my AA paid for by the state because instead of going to high school my junior and senior year, I went to college and got my AA. So then when I transferred to university, I only had to do 2 years to get my bachelor's. So I only had to spend, out of pocket for 2 years of school to get my bachelor's degree. But otherwise, yeah, paying for a full 4 years is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Neighbors got Luke.
I know. Well, it's an old guy. You know how old people like to talk. You might have to go save him. I like how he just walked in here. I'm like, fuck is this guy? How come this popcorn machine ain't going?
He turns it on.
I fucking love popcorn. Does it have seeds in it?
No. I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
There's seeds down here. Let's get this bitch going. Right? Do you know how to work this?
I do not.
We're gonna figure it out. If Luke's gonna dick around out there at the neighbor. So I was gonna say, you. Luke, where's the popcorn? So,
he has a measuring cup out here.
Yeah, right. Oh no, that's not it. Okay, here's the oil. Here's the measuring cup. Do you know where the oil goes?
I think he pours it right in there with the popcorn.
So you put the seeds in there. Dude, we're gonna break this thing. Okay. Do you think he puts the oil in first?
Do not know.
Okay, you're gonna put some oil in there. So grab the oil. Okay, so I'll hold it.
Krusty's out of there.
It's fine. Hold it up. Put some oil.
I'm coming down here. I need some.
Yep. Oh, it's fine. Maybe we should wait.
That was a trigger of when to do this. Because it
Oh,
opened no. All right, well, you take care, huh? I'll see you soon.
We're trying to make popcorn. What is going on?
All right, let's go.
I was.
Okay, I'll get it.
Okay.
Holy cow. Okay.
All right. Do you need to make sure he leaves?
Who?
How'd that go?
Whoa. We'll talk.
I heard some people were in jail.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay.
Okay, back in action.
Anyways, okay, we got a little break there. That's a little mountain living right there.
He looks like a mountain man.
Yeah, that's my neighbor.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy.
Goddamn, Sarah, I lost my train of thought. Where the fuck were we at?
Well, we took a piss break. You got distracted by your neighbor.
Yep.
We were talking about hunting, most affordable hunts, most action-packed hunts.
My Lord, I get. Yeah, that's.
What's your favorite hunt to do every year?
Man, honestly, anytime I can get out there, honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's not like. To me, it's always the camaraderie, hanging out. Like I usually like going with people,
Yeah.
Not that I haven't done it by myself, but something about sharing. That's why I kind of like to film in my hunts because I did have a camera guy with me, so we kind of you can have that experience back, right? But But you know what I'm saying is it's so weird. What do you got, Tomas?
We got a question for Sarah. What's the gnarliest animal you've ever hunted?
Probably the Cape buffalo, honestly. Yeah, gnarliest. I mean, like the
what do you do?
deadliest, the
Are you mounting that?
scariest.
Are you mounting that?
Yeah, we don't have it back yet. I got a pedestal.
Oh shit!
I've been on a kick with full body mounts. So Caleb, I kind of do what I want, and Caleb's like, stop getting these fucking full body mounts. So I told him that I full body mounted the Cape buffalo, and he's like, what's sad is I don't know if you're joking or not. Did you legit full body the Cape buffalo? I'm like, no, I didn't, but tempting. Yeah, I would say for sure that was the gnarliest hunt that I've done.
Yeah, like honestly, the Cape buffalo would have to be one of the cream of the crop. Like
yeah,
especially with the bow.
And you know that my husband makes fun of it, right? Like he thinks it's the stupidest thing. He says it's just a big cow. Like it's just like out hunting a fucking domesticated cow.
Yeah, it's not that.
I'm like, okay.
It's not that at all.
People do think that. And I was like, okay, well, you go out and doing that thing staring at you and charging you and trying to kill you.
We were, I
tell
forget
me.
where we were at. We were in Texas at a high fence deal with some vets, and we were shooting like pigs, I think.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, hey, just stay away from this lot over here. There's a water buffalo over there. Well, what's my dumb ass do?
Are water buffalo just as aggressive?
This
just
one was
as bad.
Yeah, this one was apparently because they were like, well, we checked in with them and like, where are you at? I said, I'm over here by this water. He goes, you dumbass, that's where you're not supposed to go. There's a water buffalo. I'm like, yeah, I know. I see that motherfucker right now. He goes, do not get down from the stand at all.
Really?
You stay up there. I'll be there to get you.
And he said it would like charge you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
But fuck, dude. I was ready to fucking outrun that motherfucker, jive and juke. But like honestly, I was like, well, fuck it, dude. If it fucking gets any closer, I asked him, I said, how much is this motherfucker? Because I'll shoot this bitch right now.
But if it's self-defense, it should be free, right?
Oh, but yeah, it's crazy. Like they're not cows.
Yeah, they're not tame.
Yeah, they're not cows. They're fucking dangerous, man. What else you got?
Sarah, did you eat any of the Cape buffalo meat?
I did. I even ate the testicles.
Did you really?
Me. Yeah, we try to eat as much as we can when we're there because that's what.
What do they call fucking Cape
nuts?
Yeah, I mean, really?
I don't know.
Well, they call them Rocky Mountain oysters here,
yeah.
But what the fuck? Were they good?
I don't know. Yeah, I have pictures of it on my IG of us cooking them up. It wasn't my idea, surprisingly. They were like, "Oh, you got to cook up the nuts." I'm like, "Okay." They deep fried them, so they're great. Good. Anything's good deep fried. Yeah. But the actual meat tastes just kind of like bison. Like it's pretty mild. It's not a gamey meat at all. It's combination between a cow and a bison, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's what sucks is you can't bring the meat home from Africa. That's my number one complaint. So we try to eat as much of the animals that we shoot while we're there.
Okay.
And then they sell the rest or they donate it. Like we could even take some of the meat and go donate it ourselves to local villages. I mean, the Bomars do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They do videos of that all the time. So it doesn't go to waste. It's not trophy hunting where the thing's just rotting out there.
Right. That's what I mean. And it does so much for them. You know what I mean? Like that's
the
what
economy in general.
Yeah. The economy just does so much. Like that's what a lot of people don't see. Like that money that you pay to go do these adventures, these hunts goes back so much for the villages and the communities. I mean, that's the part that I love seeing, like, these guys, and yourself can pay that money to go do that. It's fucking pretty crazy. Like, it's cool as fuck. Yeah. My tight ass is more like, I'll go to Texas, I'll bring that whole motherfucker back.
Right. Well, that is the benefit. I mean, you can bring the meat back.
Yeah.
And I do have a hard time when I go to Africa with that because that is the only hunt where I can't bring the meat back. And it does suck.
Yeah. And to me, it's just like, if it's in your budget, definitely do it. I mean, if you want to experience something like that, I have no problem going to Texas and shooting an exotic over there because to me, it's my poor man's safari. Because some of those things with vets, I would never have guessed what the New Zealand deal is. You never see the fence.
Right.
And I'm like,
way harder
the animals are in there, but you still got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and like I said, my whole deal is like, I get to bring everything back.
Yeah. No,
So
I've had that argument with people before, definitely, about getting shit for high fence hunting. And I've explained there's been some years where Caleb's deployed and I can't do a bunch of public land hunts.
yeah,
And if you're going to do public land elk hunting or a hunt, where it's over the counter, you might have to put in 7 to 10 days to ensure you're successful. And if I don't have the time to do those because my husband's deployed, I'm watching my kids, I'm running businesses, but I can fly to Texas and shoot some shit to bring some meat home, I'm going to do it. I'm
absolutely.
going to fucking do it.
And it's hunting. It's fun.
Yeah.
You're like, who doesn't
Yeah.
want to shoot your bow and shoot your gun,
Right.
whatever? Like that's where that's what makes America. We
Yeah.
go down, we
Yeah.
get to go down south and go do that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's to me, it's just as long as I get to get out, when going back to my question, like what do I like to hunt? I like anything, honestly. Like I honestly like pig hunting because you get to shoot multiples of them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just because you shoot one doesn't mean the hunt's over with. That's what I like. Just time out there and doing it, and maybe if we go do an axis hunt, same thing. We can shoot multiple. It's just kind of crazy how the laws for those animals are different than everything else,
I
right?
know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't even need a fucking license.
I know. And you can shoot them at night and
Yeah.
spotlight them and do the hell you
It's
want.
crazy, right? Like it's
wild.
fucking nuts. And to me, that's like the Wild West. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but it's cool. It's fun. And like I said, if I had to choose something that I could do all the time, it would be elk hunting. I wish I was a lot better elk hunter than what I am. But like when you get in them and you hear them bugling and they're coming in,
Yeah,
like there's
it's addicting.
no substitution for that.
No.
It's kind of like when you heard the stag roar, right? It's the same thing. Like that's like it's magical.
Gets your blood pumping.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
But to me, it's just I like it all. Like that's why I think, if I got to pick, I like whitetail hunting. You know what I mean? Like I don't like freezing my ass off, but I like doing it. You know what I mean? And to me, it's just like if I get to get out there and do it, that I'm winning. You know what I mean?
Right. Just being out there.
Yeah. And me personally, I would honestly say if I had a choice, hands down, I would probably say elk.
Yeah. Have you shot hogs with a recurve?
No.
That's fun as fuck.
Dude, I have a
my
hard enough
favorite.
fucking time with
I
the
know,
goddamn compound.
Do it with a recurve. Have you done the stabbing of the hogs
Yeah.
yet? Okay, you've done it. Everyone's got to do that
dogs.
once. A lot of people don't like it. But
I've done it once, and I don't know if I will ever do it again.
Yeah, but it's just one of
It's
those
one of those
things
things where we had to try and do it, and I did it, and I checked it off, and it was, it is what it is. I mean, those things are a nuisance, dude. They're everywhere.
That's the thing is population control.
Yeah.
Man.
To me, it's just like, I did it and it's cool, but I would probably rather do a recurve than a knife for sure. The recurve's different, man. And you like that recurve, right?
I fucking love it. And when I was talking about like the reward of like, what do I get out of hunting? That was the thing I really learned when I started hunting with the recurve. The reward is so much greater because it's so fucking hard.
It is hard.
And it's hard to go back to a compound. It's kind of like when you stop rifle hunting because you picked up a bow and you don't want to go back to a rifle. That's the same thing. As soon as you start killing shit with a recurve, it's really hard to go back to compound.
I feel like, you have to practice on both of them, even a compound, but I feel like, the compound technology is just a little bit more easy.
Yeah, you have sights.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I watch you shoot your recurve, and you got to realize, like I sat, numerous years with Aaron on the field with him. He shot. It's all he fucking shot.
Yeah.
And it's an art.
Oh, 100%.
And you got to fucking practice that art. It's just like anything. And I will say this, fucker, you are fucking good at it. You have definitely honed your craft.
Yeah, well, it came Tom Clum. I mean, same way Aaron. I mean, we got good coaching right off the bat, and it's one of those things you can't self-teach that shit. There's so many people that they're like, yeah, I just watch YouTube videos and I do it in my backyard, and I get discouraged because I can't. It's like you got to find someone that really fucking knows what they're doing and help you.
Yeah,
you really do. You have to have a coach. I mean, I'm not a natural born shooter. Like I attribute it to Tom, to Joel. Joel's in my backyard and he's a recurve shooter. Aaron was a huge inspiration to me watching him. And then, yeah, I mean, once you get good and you start killing stuff with it, there's just like, it's hard to go back.
Really? Is it the fact that you have to be closer, or you have to know that where that arrow is actually going to land?
I mean, both. I think you have to keep your shit together with a compound. I mean, 10 times more with a recurve, like just the slightest even extra pull of the string, like you pull a little bit harder than you're supposed to, or you collapse just like a fucking half an inch.
Yep.
That arrow is going to drop, you
Yep.
know, you're going to miss. I mean, there's no room for error. So the fact that you have to concentrate that much harder and it's mentally so much harder and physically, I mean, it's physically a lot harder as well. It's just so much more rewarding when you kill something.
Yeah.
It's not even comparable with the compound, I mean.
Yeah, just the fact that I know, are you a instinct?
No, I gap shoot like Aaron
Okay,
does,
yeah.
and I have to do that to use Joel's, you know, shot method to go through my execution. No, instinctive shooting, I wouldn't be able to do. And what's funny is I'm getting ready to teach a women's retreat in June in Idaho, where I'm teaching compound and recurve, and I'm partnering up. Jessica Byers and I are doing the compound, and Yana Roberts is doing the recurve, and she's an instinctive shooter.
Okay.
So she's going to teach the instinctive side, and I'm going to teach like the gap shooting and more of like what I know through Joel and Tom.
Right.
So that'll be interesting to see
The difference of it.
Yeah, because I've
right?
never tried snap shooting.
I both of it's hard to me. I was like, you got to really like do it every day to
Right.
be accurate as fuck. I think, you know,
Yeah.
because Aaron wanted me to do it, and he gave me the one up here, and I love doing it. I think it's fun, but I just know I'm not good enough to kill an animal yet with it.
Yeah.
I would have to really just focus and do that nonstop.
Right. And you don't have a clicker on yours. I'm looking at it, and I don't shoot with the clicker either. Not very many people do that. I
Really?
mean, oh yeah, shooting without a clicker's
And that's
not very
because the
common.
clicker is where it's back enough where you can fire,
so
right?
you know, like that's your auditory sign that you are at full draw. Where for me, I don't know if I'm at full draw unless I'm hitting my anchor point and I'm completely cognizant and I know that I'm not like collapsing and I have full expansion. Nothing telling me that you're there.
Yeah. Which I think.
Yeah, I tried a clicker. Aaron put a clicker on my bow and I was like, shit off. Like it fucked with me bad. It fucked with, it was like, yeah, not good for how my brain worked in my shot process. But some people need it, you know, but got to figure out what works for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I commend you because you fucking do it and you do it well. I will say, because there's not a lot of motherfuckers that do it that well. You know what I mean? It's like those trad hunters and trad shooters. I take my hat off to them because it's not fucking easy.
No. And it sucks because you have to realize that you're going to fucking give up of possible successful hunts, things that you could have been successful with a compound. You have to realize that now that's not going to happen. So for me, I'm not quite there yet. Like on these hunts that I go on, I take both my bows. Like even Hawaii, I take my compound and my recurve. And sometimes, I mean, I'll just be brutally honest. A guide that's like, I'll carry one of your bows for you. I'll fucking have my guide carry a bow and I'll carry a bow. And if I can get within 25 yards, I'll try it with my recurve. And if it's a huge freaking buck or something at 50, give me my goddamn compound.
Goddamn right.
I'm not Aaron Snyder. I'm not to the point where I've shot so many animals that I'm ready to fully commit to recurve. And I'm not going to be for a long time. That's my end goal. 20 years from now, maybe I'll be there, but not now. You know?
Yeah, I guess that's just me where I'm at is like, I have not put enough animals on the ground enough
to be willing to give up.
Yeah. I like, especially like all those animals, like it all costs money, right?
Yeah.
So like literally I'm going to have the best result of me doing with my bow or a rifle, you know,
the best chances you've got.
We're looking into a caribou hunt as you know, this coming season. And I'm like, man, I want to take my bow, but realistically, I know if I have a fucking rifle with me, You know what I mean?
Because that's
It's
a
going to be
hard hunt with a bow.
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing where it's wide open. You
Yeah.
have fucking no cover.
And you got grizzlies
Right.
fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
You
they're
know?
gonna come right in on that carcass as soon as you kill it.
Yeah. So to me, I guess I'm just gonna have a moment with God when it's my time, you know, I guess to do it. You
Well,
know?
do both. See, that's the thing is it's like if you don't take both of them, you know damn well that what's going to end up happening is you're going to get this motherfucker 30 yards broadside and you're going to have to shoot it with a rifle.
I know.
Because you didn't have your bow and
Yep.
you're like, motherfucker, if
I
I had
know.
my bow. So that's why I take both.
Yep.
I don't care. No shame.
No, I'm right there with you. I see eye to eye on that. And like some of those guys that just bow hunt, I fuck yeah, man, I take my hat off to you. But I just literally, I don't have the budget to keep going back every year and trying to say, oh, I'll do that again. Like Bill from Iron Will, that motherfucker's just loyal to that bow and he wants to get it with his bow. Power to you, dog. I can do it, but I want to get the trophy. I mean, I want the animal down. I want to eat that caribou meat.
Yeah.
And I want something to be said that I'm been gone for a week or so.
And that
you know,
too, when you've got family, that's another thing, you know, with us where we have kids and we're making sacrifices to be gone. And if you have an opportunity where you know you're going to get it done with a compound, but you're just being a stubborn ass because you're like, oh, I want to do it with my recurve and you don't get it. Like it's being a little bit selfish.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I look at it is like my family, you know, they are affected by me being gone.
Yeah.
So I better come home with something.
Yeah. Like make it worth your while, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm right there with you on that. Yeah. I don't know. I guess for me to talk to you now is just more like, you know, me and you have known each other for so long now. And I feel like, you know, we have a pretty good relationship and I just know what kind of person you are as a competitor, just even shooting 3D. You carry that over in hunting and I can tell you're fucking
passionate about it.
Yeah, it is nut. And that's why I like you because you know, it's nothing against that. I don't know a lot of these other girls at all because, you know, not that I don't know them. I know you and I just know how passionate you are and you're not a faker. You know, you're a real one. And I will always say that, like, you know, I could put tons of people like, you know, I actually this weekend, a couple girls hit me up and talked to me and they're like, hey, who do I follow? I want to get into it. And I mentioned you for sure. And, I go, she literally, you'll see it. She shoots all the time. She's doing it. And it's just like one of those things. Like if you want to be a good fighter, you got to practice, right?
Yeah.
Like you got to be in the gym doing it. Speaking of that, you do a lot of working out. Was it CrossFit? You do a little bit of CrossFit?
I don't do a lot of it. I try. I mean, I wish I could do more of it. I think I get lucky where I have a pretty athletic body type just to begin with, and I eat really well, so it looks like I work out a lot. But I don't get to work out as much as I'd like. But it is CrossFit that I do when I go into the gym.
Yeah, because I see you on some of those
I'll
things.
post some videos.
Yeah. And I guess to explain to the listeners like how important that part is of you doing that to go out in the fields.
I mean, physically it's important, but for me, like the mental side of it, because I do not like working out. Like you see my husband, that man fucking loves working out. That is his whole life. And I just started working out within the last 4 or 5 years, which is crazy. People think this is part of my lifestyle. No, it's really not. It was something that I forced myself to do because, like I said, look at my husband. And I'm like, I can't be a sloppy piece of shit when I'm married to him and I want to feel stronger. And there were hunts that I was doing, like my Cape Buffalo hunt.
Yeah, you had to be strong.
Where I needed to be stronger. And for me, it's like the mental push that I wake up and I don't fucking want to go to the gym. It's like doing ice baths. Like I do ice baths. Same thing with that. Like there's some health benefits to it. Yes. But the big thing is like getting out of your comfort zone. And for me, that's what it is. In hunting, like there's a ton of mental things that you deal with in hunting. Like it sucks. There are days that go by, you don't see anything. The weather's horrible. You're busting your ass and like the mental strength that you need to keep going. So for working out, it's more mental than physical, honestly, for me. But obviously the physical side, like especially some of the hunts I do, like when I came to Colorado, I did a Colorado elk hunt and I'm at sea level in Washington. and I hunted up here at like, 10,000, 11,000 feet.
it's
And
different.
if I hadn't prepared for that hunt, I would have been fucking smoked. But I knew what I was up against, and I listened to enough podcasts and follow enough people, knew like, okay, I need to do some cardio, I need to do this, I need to do that. And so yeah, it helps for that too.
Yeah, I would definitely say just even, my background in, I gotta, you gotta work out, right? You have to become a fighter or whatever, but just coming out here in the backyard where I'm at, we're at 9,000 up and down, like you can't be a fucking piece of shit.
You cannot.
And that's one thing I always tell the guys. They hit me up, they're like, hey man, I'm coming out, I'm gonna do a fucking 10-day hunt. I'm like, well, you're gonna attempt to do 10 days, but realistically, dude, I hope you fucking train and get in shape, man. And they're like, oh yeah.
No, Colorado is no fucking
They
joke
hit me
for
up
that.
and they're like, dude, I had no idea, let alone just find a spot where not other hunters are at.
And that's the biggest thing is when I did my Colorado hunt, and the person I went with, like, he knew how packed, the public land was. And he's like, listen, we're going in deep. Like, we're going in like 7 to 10 miles with our fucking 60-pound packs on. We get out there. We're the only dumbasses that hiked out there. Everyone else has horses. And I'm looking at him going, where the fuck are our horses? And he's like, yeah, we couldn't afford those.
Well, and that's the problem,
so
right?
Trying to get as far as you can to get away from people is half of the battle. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I will tell people, the majority of it is always expect the worst, because a plan on you're going to be fucking your feet are going to blister.
Whatever hunting plan you think you have, you might as well throw it in the fucking garbage, because it's not going to be that good. I promise you. It's always going to be worse. I always try to tell people, like, imagine fucking going somewhere and you get into them and you hear them, but they're usually down in the bottom of a basin. Yeah. It's usually where they're at.
You can get there, but how are you going to get them out? I'm real as fuck on that part.
Dude, yeah. In fact, when I came here and I went on that hunt with my buddies, I kind of had to get in an argument with them, because I went with 3 dudes, all extreme CrossFit athletes. 2 of them own CrossFit gyms.
Okay.
They all live here. I'm coming from Washington at sea level. I'm a woman, so already like they have an advantage over me, like physically. Down, I'm not going to hold them back. I'm going to keep up with them. I'm going to be a fucking trooper. And I did for the most part, but there was one day, we were camp 7 to 10 miles, and then every day we were 10 miles, and it was at the end of the day, and we had put in about 7 miles, and we found the elk, and they were in the darkest, deepest fucking hole, and it was like 5 o'clock at night. We maybe had like, I don't know what the daylight time was then, but like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, let's go down and get him. And I was like, no, no, we don't have any to stay the night down there.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have overnight clothes. We don't have things to make a fire. And he's a good hunter, but like sometimes there's people, and he was just too much like, I need to fucking kill. And he wasn't just thinking things through. It's like the woman in the situation is like, let's be realistic about this.
That's where I am.
Like
all the time.
We're gonna fucking die down there. Like it was getting down into the 20s at night. It was, when I was waking up in the morning, it was like cold, frosted over. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I ain't fucking going down there at 5 o'clock at night, shooting something and then sleeping down there.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. I'm realistic. I'm this realistic. Like it's not that important to me.
Yeah.
And I just, like I said, like I want it to be fun and enjoyable.
Yeah.
And sometimes I may have to eat that tag because I pussed out like that situation, but realistically, it was kind of probably smarter.
Yeah.
Let alone for the animal. What if I made a bad shot at that time and then we had to track it that night? Or you know what I mean? Like, and then you got to hike your Holloway ass all the way back up to camp and then go back down there. It's just, to me, it's just not realistic for me to do something like that because I know my body.
Right. You know? You have to be aware of things like that. You just can't be bloodthirsty and let's go fucking kill. Like
everybody wants that grip and grin, but goddamn it, dude, be smart about it, right?
No shit.
I don't know. It is what it is, but I don't know. I know I want to ask you too. So I see the kids doing a little jujitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
they
son's
like it.
still doing it. My daughter's tapped out because she started doing volleyball and barrel racing, but my
Oh,
son,
really?
yeah. Yeah, and it sucks because she has Caleb's strength. And so it's funny with my kids. My son is really good at picking technique and he can learn the technique and apply the technique.
Yeah.
My daughter cannot, but she wins from
Strong
her
as
brute
hell.
strong as
Yeah.
fuck, dude. It doesn't matter who she goes against. Like she comes home and tells me that she is arm wrestling 13-year-old boys and just making them cry at school.
Yeah.
Like, cause she has Caleb's strength. And then my son, he's scrawny little shit, but he's good at the technique.
He gets it.
So it's funny how they both have their own strengths, but it sucks because I don't want to be one of those parents that like pushes your kid to do something.
Yeah.
Like one of those pushy parents.
Yeah.
But I legit tell her, I was like, Cadence, I'm not being unrealistic when I tell you if you stuck with this, you could be in the fucking UFC.
Yeah.
Like you're 12 years old, you have insane human strength. And if you did this up until adulthood, you see the girls we're watching on TV,
Yeah.
like that could be you.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking when I say that because she has superhuman strength. So it kind of sucks that she's not into it.
Yeah, she might come back into it.
She might. But my son is into it and he does fairly well, and we're gonna keep him in it.
He likes it, huh?
Yeah, it's still one of those things where he bitches about going to practice. But at the end of the day, like if you keep your kid at home in front of video games, he's in such a bad mood. He's such a little asshole. Where if I tell him we're going to jujitsu, he might bitch about it. And like it might be a little bit of a fight to get him there. But once he does it and gets through the practice, he's in such a good mood. He gets the adrenaline rush.
Yep.
And then he's all happy. And I'm like, see, that wasn't so bad, was it? And he's like, no, it's good.
Yep.
So we're sticking with it. Yeah. And I love, obviously, that's my favorite sport of all time. So when he's like, I want to do soccer, and I'm like, what about jujitsu though? Yeah. Or my daughter, like, why don't you do wrestling? You know?
Right. What you got, Tomas?
Edward Martinez wants to know, is that Happy Dad? Well, what? My bad. Is that a new Happy Dad flavor?
The one we're drinking is the iced tea. And I got to say, it's my favorite now. I love these iced teas, man. They're not like twisted teas.
What other flavors do they have, though?
They have just regular hard seltzer ones.
Oh, okay. I thought they were all teas.
Yeah, no, they're hard seltzer. There's some in there. The Death Row one, grape, is one of my favorite ones. It's in there. But yeah, like this one is the iced tea, and we had them in Vegas for Justice Fight. They came through, and that's when I got hooked, and that's when I said I got to stop. I got to do 30 days of cleaning.
They're strong. What's the alcohol percentage?
These ones are just like 5 or 6. But,
okay.
The problem is you can drink 5 or 6 of them too real fast. You know what I mean?
Drinking these.
And but yeah, that's something I like, and yeah, just something I can do. It's a little bit less beer content. No sugars, like those twisted teas. They got a lot of sugar content in them,
and those don't have a lot. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's why I like about them, because I'm trying to get my beach muscles on before the summer. You know.
Yeah, you don't want the diabetes.
Yeah, I don't want diabetes too. Minus those oatmeal pies I like. You know. But anyways, so I want to say thank you for coming down here. Like honestly, like it's always just a treat that when you come down, and even if we're gonna shoot or whatever, but to have you on the set is just like, I like having you because I like to hear where you're coming from. My listeners are going to hear from, from a woman's. We have tons of guys out here, right?
Yeah.
All the time. And it's just good to have a woman's perspective out here that actually does the shit.
Yeah.
You actually do a lot of the real shit,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
What advice would you give a young hunter, whether it's a girl, young boy, young man, or even an old guy like myself? Why would somebody want to do hunting?
Well, I think like nowadays there's so many good resources for hunters. Like back in the day before social media, like if you didn't have someone specifically in your family or someone close to you that hunted, like you didn't really have a chance at it.
Right.
But now I have I even have women that reach out to me whose husbands aren't even hunting, but they want to get into hunting. And it's like, there's so many doors open now for that, because you've got YouTube and you've got podcasts like this and you've got social media. And so I always like to tell people, like, don't be intimidated by it. Like my biggest regret in life is how long it took me to start archery, because I've hunted since I was 11, but I haven't been archery hunting for that long, only like 6 years. And it was because I was intimidated because stereotypically, like when I was growing up, I didn't know any women that did archery and I thought it was a guy's thing to do. And so I didn't even attempt it. And I was like, there's no way I could do it. And it wasn't until I got on social media and saw people, other women that were doing it. And I was like, fuck, if these women can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So I would just say, like, don't be intimidated by it. Like, don't be afraid to try it. You know, find someone that's a good mentor. I feel like the hunting community and the archery community, everyone is so helpful and we're good people.
Yeah.
Like everyone that reaches, I try to reply to every message, no matter who it is, you know, whatever question you have, like everyone's willing to help. You know, we're all on the same team. Our hunting rights are being taken away left and right. So we have to stick together. So we're always encouraging more new hunters. Like that's what we want.
Yeah. The education part of it. Yeah. It's so important. Yeah, I guess that you probably said it right there is like, don't be intimidated to try new things. I think that's goes a long ways right there, you know?
Yeah.
And like you said, like, I remember when I first picked up the bow, I was so addicted to it, and I thought I was fucking Rambo with that motherfucker, you know. And let alone that I knew what the fuck I was doing, you know. But it's fun, and to me, it's more of a like therapeutic for me, you know.
Yeah,
like
it is for a lot of people.
it is.
Even if you're not gonna hunt and you just want to get a bow to shoot in your backyard, like
that's my wife right there.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
She likes shooting foam, and then she likes it. You know, she's not diehard like all of us, but
well, those 3D shoots. I mean, like there's a ton of 3D shoots all over. Luke's dying on me over here. Yeah, even if you don't want to, that's the first question I ask is people are like, what bow should I get? I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Are you going to shoot in your backyard? Do you want to hunt? Like, you know, so.
That's a good point. Like, yeah, fine. Just get comfortable with it. What's in your budget, obviously, and then go from there and see if you like it. Like, I so many guys come in, they'll go to, you know, to a shop, and nothing against those shops, but they'll buy the Mercedes Benz of the bows, and they won't even fucking take it out until it's a week before hunting season. I'm like, bro, it's not how it works. You know what I mean? It's not how it works, but you know, good for them, I guess.
Yeah. But find a good shop. That's a good point too, because find a good shop, someone that can work on your bow for you, or somewhere that you can go in and shoot different bows. Cause everyone asked me what bow should I get. And I was like, that's a loaded question. Like I shoot PSE. That's what I like, but I'm not going to say you need a PSE because not everyone's going to like a PSE. It's kind of like the bow chooses you. Go into a shop where you can shoot multiple brands. That's how I chose PSE. I went to the ATA convention, you know, where all the brands are there, and I walked through and I shot, you know, Bowtech and Matthews and Elite and all of them, and PSE was what felt good to me. You don't know what's going to feel good to you till you get in a shop and try them.
You said it right there, perfect. I mean, I think that's what the bow shop did for me. Phil let out like 5 different bows out.
And a good bow shop will do that. They won't push you towards one. They'll be like, here,
try them all.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, dude, I like some of these price tags. I was like, dude, I can't do this. I really like this one.
And it might come down to the price.
Yeah. But it was that I truly believe that that's where it's at. Is like what fits your hand. You know what I mean? Like it's literally what fits you the best. And it's no different than a gun too, you know, like
it's good in your hand. Yeah.
So yeah, I think you said it right there. But the main thing is don't be timid. Don't wait for the right day. Go out there and do it. Go try it. You know what I mean? That's what I would say too. Good damn.
Taking the words right out of your mouth.
You're fucking educated, dude.
Do you need to tell me about your neighbor? Is that off the?
Yeah, we'll talk about off. We're talking about that off.
I know that was off. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little off, but that was the first time for me right there.
I could tell. I was like, I know when you're in your comfort zone and you're out of your comfort zone. I'm like, I feel like Luke is just not quite sure about this right now.
Yeah, well, I didn't know whether I should have grabbed this or not.
Just come strolling in. I'm like, I go, who the fuck is this guy? And you're like, that's my neighbor.
I think.
Okay.
Well, on that note, let's probably flick some arrows. Let's have a little fun.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like I said, you're always welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm glad that I could make it here because we didn't have Best of the Best, and that made me sad.
Yeah.
Hurt my heart.
We're going to do it big next year, I promise.
Okay. We're going to make up for it next year.
I even thought about doing a gladiator shoot. just because like I said, it's the camaraderie. Yeah, man. It's fun. And I don't know how that looks like yet, but I literally want to do more in this community. You know what I mean? Like, and and that's another topic we'll talk about off the air is like, you have no idea like the opportunities I have coming up, and it's just like, oh shit, I never even thought about something like this. So it's cool. But yeah, we'll pick it up. We'll talk, and I'll beat your ass on my range.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Well, on that note, guys, we are out. Guys, I can't tell you guys enough. Thank you guys for all your support, listeners, downloads. Guys, if you guys haven't, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're getting it popped up. I'm trying to get Tomas here to fucking get it down right.
PNW Huntress.
But god damn it.
Shit correctly,
okay. Where can they find you at, Sarah?
PNW_Huntress on Instagram.
Okay. And dude, we gotta give Caleb a little shout out. Where can they find him?
He took off it. He doesn't.
No, he did.
I mean, he has Mr. Insta Hunter, but he doesn't monitor it. So if people are like, "When are we doing new videos?" I'm like, "Man, I got to twist his arm with you."
Yeah, when he comes out, when he's retired, he'll come out.
I bet he'll do some videos with you if you want.
I do want him. He's fun. All right, well, we out and see y'all next week.
Good night. Are you gonna make me some motherfucking popcorn?
Yeah, popcorn.